Namaste. Sit with your legs crossed, your spine straight, your eyes closed. Bringing your hands into the Chin Mudra, joining your thumb and your index finger and the other fingers straight, resting your hands on your knees. Bring your awareness into this present moment of being. Bring your awareness to your breath. Being a part of each and every breath. Feeling the air come in through your nose as you inhale. Follow that air to wherever it goes, and then follow it all the way back out as you exhale. Complete awareness of your breath. Now open your eyes and bring the fingertips onto the floor outside your hips, and then bring your right ear towards your right shoulder as you exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. And let's hold here for a couple of breaths. And bring your head back to center. Move your left ear to your left shoulder. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. Lift your head back up to center. And then on your next exhale, turn to look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lift your chin up to the ceiling to stretch your throat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up to the center. Exhale, lift it towards the ceiling, stretch the throat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. And now hold it there, and as you inhale, bring the chin towards the right shoulder. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, chin towards the left shoulder. Exhale back to the center, and just continue in this pendulum-like movement. Then bring your chin back to the neutral position. Lift your head back up. And then bring the fingertips onto the insides of the shoulders, and you inhale, bring your elbows up, and exhale, circle them around behind you. Inhaling them up, exhale, circle them around you. Inhale up. Exhale, circle them around. Inhale up. Exhale, circle them around. Inhale up. Exhale, circle them around. And then other direction. Inhale, circle them around and up, and exhale back to the center. Inhale, circle them around and up. Exhale back to the front. Inhale, circle them around and up. Exhale back to the front. Inhale, around and up. Exhale to the front. Inhale, around and up. Exhale to the front. And then interlock your hands backwards and start to loosen up the joints of the arm. Change the cross of the hands so your other one's on top, and then again loosen them up. Now change the cross of your legs so your other leg's in front, and interlace your fingers. Push the interlaced fingers up towards the sky as you arch your back and lift your chest as you inhale. Then as you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin and bring the backs of the hands to touch the back of your head. Inhale, arch your back, push the hands up and look up. Exhale, bring the hands out in front of you as you round your back, tuck the chin in. Inhale, start to arch your back, bring the backs of the hands to your chest as you arch and lift your chin. Exhale, push the hands away from you as you round your back. Inhale, lift your hands back up to the sky as you arch and then look up at the end. And then exhale, releasing your hands, bring them behind your back and interlace your fingers there. Pull your chest and the insides of the shoulders open and then fold yourself forward, bringing your forehead to the floor. And slowly lift yourself back up. Release your hands. Bring them in front of you. This time, put your other index finger on top and the lock. And inhale, lift your hands up. Look up. Exhale, round your back. Bring the backs of the hands to touch the back of your head. Inhale, arch your back. Lift your hands up. Look up. Exhale, your hands out in front of you as you round your back. Tuck your chin in. Inhale, backs of the hands come into your chest. Arch your back. Lift your chin. Exhale, push your hands away from you as you round your back, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lift your hands up, arching, and then look up. Exhale, release your hands, bring them behind you, lock your hands, put the other index finger on top of this lock, and then fold forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. Slowly lift yourself back up. Release the lock of your hands, bring your left hand out onto the floor at the side and swing your right arm over to stretch the right side of your torso. Reach out with your fingertips to palm facing down. Come back up, bring your right hand on the floor outside your right hip, bring your left hand over. Try and really feel the stretch up the left side of your torso. Slowly lift yourself back up. Place your hands onto your knees. And as you inhale, run your heels of the hands down your thighs up to the crease of the hip as you arch your back and lift your head. Then exhale, run your hands back to your knees, rounding your back, tucking your chin in. Inhale, arching your back, pull the heels of the hands towards the hip crease. Exhale, rounding your back, bring the hands back to the knees. Inhale, run the heels of the hands to the hip crease, arch your back, lift your head. Exhale, run the hands back to your knees, rounding your back. Inhale, come back to neutral, and then straighten your legs out, remove the flesh from your buttocks, remove the flesh from underneath your legs to the outsides, feet together. Dandasana, either having your hands or your fingertips on the floor, either side of your hips. And then keep the chest open by pulling your shoulders down your back. Tuck your chin in and gaze the tip of your nose and breathe. Now lift your head back up and lift up your hands long back. As you exhale, fold forward, take your hands beyond your feet. And then as if you're pulling your body back but you're still holding your feet, this will help to straighten your back. You want to feel the stretch at the backs of your legs here. We're just starting to waken them up. If you have to use a strap or bend your knees a little, that's okay. And then slowly lift yourself back up. Place your left ankle under your right knee and then bring your left foot just in front. Bring your right foot just in front of your left knee. And you want to line up the outer edges of your feet with the outer edges of your knees. And then you're going to fold yourself forward. You want to feel the stretch at the outer hips. And use your fingertips to walk yourself forward. Eventually we're trying to bring the forehead onto the floor, but keeping the hips grounded. And then just breathe here. Whenever you feel like space is being created through the breath, little bit, move yourself forward so you get deeper into the stretch. Slowly lift yourself back up. Bring your fingertips a little behind you and arch your back, lifting your chest, lifting your chin, just so that we can take a counter posture to that forward fold. Then bring yourself back to neutral, and you're going to turn your chest to face over your left knee and walk your hands out over that knee. So we're starting to stretch a little bit more into the right side of the torso at the right hip. Slowly walk yourself back up. And then, same again, bring your fingertips a little behind you on the floor, lift your chest and lift your chin, arching your back to reset the spine. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Stretch your legs out. Lift your arms up. And fold yourself forward as we did before, taking your hands over your feet. Or if it's available, take your hands around your feet. And this time, instead of staying up, you can start to bring your elbows out to the sides as you fold yourself forward. Trying to maintain as much length in your spine as you can. Then lift yourself back up. Bring your right ankle underneath your left knee. Bring your left foot in front of your right knee. Line up the outsides of the knees with the soles of your feet, which are parallel to each other. And then fold yourself forward with the long back. Use your fingertips to walk yourself a little bit deeper into the pose. Slowly start to walk your hands back, lift your body back up. Bring the fingertips behind you. Reset the spine by arching your back, lifting your chin. Bring your body back to neutral and turn your chest to face over your right knee and then walk your hands out over that right knee, feeling the deeper stretch into the left hip and the left side of the torso near the hip. Slowly lift yourself back up. Bring your fingertips behind you again. Reset the spine, arching your back, lifting your chin. And really feel into the spine. Feel how good it is to give it this opposite movement after all these forward folds. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Lift up your arms, long back. And fold yourself forward. Maybe this time you can even hold your wrist beyond your feet to get a bit deeper. And then folding forward. Otherwise, if you still have to use a strap or bend your knees a little, that's absolutely fine. You can also just hold around your feet as per the previous version of this forward fold. And then slowly lift yourself back up. From here, bend your knees, have your hands a little behind you, and then lift up your hips so that you look like a tabletop. You've got a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, and your knees are above your ankles, your shoulders are above your wrists. Slowly bring your hips back down to the floor. Cross your legs over, bring your hands in front of your knees, and then step your feet into downward facing dog. Use this as an opportunity to stretch through your back and the backs of the legs. And then step your right foot in between your hands, drop your left knee onto the floor, interlace your fingers and bring them onto your right knee. Here you want to feel a stretch at the front of your left leg. If you're not feeling that stretch, move your left foot back a little bit and then relax it again, and you'll feel more stretch at the front of your left leg. Now open your arms out at the sides, hands shoulder height, and then pull your hands back with the palms of the hands facing forward so you feel a stretch across your chest, shoulders, and arms. Then bring your left hand fingertips onto the floor and bring your right arm over your head so you're feeling a stretch up the right side of your torso. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Right hand fingertips in the floor. Bring your left hand over, palm facing down. Stretching the left side of the torso. Inhale back up. And then interlock your hands behind your back. Really pull your chest open. And you can start to arch back a little more, gazing up maybe about 45 degrees. And then releasing your hands to the floor, stepping yourself back into downward facing dog. Then bring your left foot in between your hands, dropping your right knee down onto the floor. Interlace your fingers on your left knee. Same as before, check in with the front of your right leg. Make sure you're feeling a stretch. If not, you need to move the foot back a little, the right foot. Open your arms out to the side. With the palms facing forward. And then dropping your right hand fingertips onto the floor, bring your left hand over, stretching through the left side of your torso. The left hand palm is facing downwards. And then slowly lifting yourself back up on the inhale. As you exhale, bring your left hand fingertips on the floor, bring your right hand over, this time stretching through the right side of the torso. Inhale, lift yourself back up, and then interlace your fingers behind your back. Really pull your chest open. Start to arch your back and gazing up 45 degrees. Then release your hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, slowly bring yourself forward into plank position and then drop your knees to the floor, drop your chest and your chin to the floor, walk your feet back a little so you're lying fully down on the floor, and then relax your toes. Have your hands either side of your rib cage on the floor, and then use the muscles of your back to lift up your chest into the baby cobra. Keep pulling your elbows backwards to keep opening across the chest, and really focus on strengthening the back muscles. And then slowly bring your chin down onto the floor. Bring your feet as wide as the mat, toes tucked under. You might want to bring your hands even a little bit further back and then push yourself up into the full cobra. Keep your pubic bone against the floor. Keep your elbows a little bent so that your arms have to work hard and your back has to work hard. And then slowly relax your body back down. Relax your toes, relax your head to one side, relax your arms. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then tuck your toes under. Give yourself some momentum to bring your hips back towards your feet. Relax your toes, touch your big toes together, knees wide apart as the mat, arms out in front of you, child pose. From here in the child pose, you're going to loop your right hand with the palm facing up underneath the left, directly out to your left side at shoulder height, and gaze underneath your left armpit. So we're twisting. Then bring your right hand back out to the front. Bring your left hand directly out to your right side, palm facing up. Look underneath your right armpit. Bring your left hand out in front of you. See if you can get a little more length through your spine as you walk your fingertips a little more forward, but keeping your buttocks against your heels. And then let's slowly come out of the child pose, and we'll go sideways on our mat so we can bring our knees as wide apart as possible. And we're making 90-degree angles from our toes to our ankles to our knees to our hips. So don't let your hips go beyond your knees. Try and keep them in line with your knees, or even a little bit behind the knees towards the feet. And your toes are pointed out to the sides, pointing away from each other, the toes. And you can just start here on your forearms. And if it's available for you to go into the fuller version, you can bring your chest and your chin onto the floor with your arms straight out in front of you. But only do this if your hips do not come forward from your knees, if they stay in line with or a little behind your knees. And just allow the inner thighs to gradually open up here. If you're in the full version here, Try to keep opening across your chest and upper back by rotating your shoulders externally. And then when you're ready to come out of it, just walk your hands back towards your feet, and then you're going to tuck your toes under and push yourself up into a wide-legged downward facing dog. And from there, you're going to slowly bring your hands back towards your feet. Your feet should be parallel, and then the toes turned inwards a little, and come up on your fingertips so that they're directly below your shoulders, and then bend your knees a little so you can really lift your chest and feel like your back is arching. And once you've got that arch, try and maintain it as you straighten up your legs. Then walk your hands out towards your right side. Hold your outside of the right ankle with your left hand. Put the right hand on your sacrum and try and bring your left elbow towards the floor. So we're twisting. And then we're going to change sides. So walk your hands out towards your left leg. Take the outside of your left ankle with your right hand. Put your left hand on your sacrum and then bring your right elbow towards the floor. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and then bring your left hand directly underneath your face. Lift your right hand up, so we're twisting again. Look up at your right hand. Replace your left hand by your right hand on the floor and then lift up your left hand. Look up at your left hand. You're trying to bring your shoulders into one straight line here, so you're really twisting from your upper back. Then bring your hands back onto the floor. Walk them back so that they're in between your feet. Try and keep your shoulders, your elbows and your hands at shoulder width. And then you're bringing the crown of your head towards the floor. Then look up, lengthen through your spine. Hold your big toes or the outsides of the ankles with your two first fingers and thumb or your hands. And then let your elbows come out to the sides as you bring the crown of your head towards the floor. Inhale, look up, lengthen through your spine. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders and then bend your right leg, turn the right toes out a little and straighten your left leg as you sink your buttocks down. Bring your hands to the Namaskar Mudra with your right elbow inside your right knee, so we're in Skandasana. Then bring your fingertips onto the floor, walk yourself to the other side, so bending your left knee this time. Bring your hands, Namaskar Mudra, center of your chest. And then you're going to walk your hands to the right side of your mat, bending your right knee, have your right toes pointing at that side of the mat, and then left leg behind you. Start to bring your weight back, stretching into the hamstrings of the right leg. Keep your fingertips either side of your foot, and if you can, peel your toes towards your body. Then bend your right leg and walk your hands around to the other side. Now your left knee's bent over your left ankle, fingertips either side of the foot, and then bring your weight back. Straightening up your left leg and, if possible, peeling the toes towards your body to give added stretch to the hamstrings. And walk yourself back forward. Come all the way up onto your fingertips and lengthen through your spine. And then fold yourself forward and lift your hands all the way up to the sky, coming into standing. From there, bring your feet nice and wide apart, feet parallel. Bring your arms out like airplane wings to the sides. And bring your left hand down your left leg. Bring your right arm all the way over your head, stretching through the right side of your torso. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Exhale, your right hand down your right leg. Bring your left arm over, stretching the left side of your torso. Inhale, come back up. This time, turn your left foot out and then bring the back of the left hand to the inside of your shin and lift your right hand up. If it's available for you, you can grab your big toe with your left hand to give a little deeper stretch, Trikonasana. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Then turn your right foot out, turn your left foot in, and then reaching out with your right hand, bring the back of the hand to the inside of the shin, or take your big toe, left hand up, look up at your left hand. Try and keep your torso in one line with your legs. Don't let your chest or your head come forward. Inhale, come back up, turn both feet in, and then turn your left foot out and make the stance a little bit longer. Bring your arms out at the sides and look at your left middle finger for the warrior two as you bend your left knee. Here we're trying to get our left thigh parallel to the floor to really strengthen the legs. And then inhale, come back up. Turn your legs the other direction, bending your right knee. Again, trying to make that thigh parallel to the floor so you're really strengthening the right leg. Gazing your right middle finger here. And then windmill your hands down to the floor. Step your right foot back into downward facing dog. And then come down onto your knees and take a child pose. Buttocks back to your heels, forehead on the floor, arms out in front of you. Slowly walk yourself back up. And then bring your knees together so we're sitting in Vajrasana. You're still sitting back on your heels. Your toes are relaxed. Bring your left hand behind your back, trying to bring the left hand between your shoulder blades with the palm pointing away from the body. And then bring your right hand over and try and lock your fingers there. So your right elbow is high, your left elbow is low. And then start to circle your right elbow. If you weren't able to actually grip your hands, don't worry about it. Circle it anyway, and it's going to loosen up into that shoulder joint. And then make opposite direction circles. And then just release your hands, relax for a couple of breaths here before we go to the other side. Now bring your right elbow in front, on top of your left elbow, and then try and lock your palms of the hands. Lift your elbows up a little higher, and then try and push the hands a little away from your face. So this time you're going to feel the stretch at the outsides of the shoulders, and then release. Relax your hands for a moment. Now we bring our right hand behind our back, trying to bring it in between the shoulder blades. Bring your left arm over, try and lock your hands there, and start to circle with your left elbow. Again, if you couldn't quite reach your hands, don't worry. Go as far as you can, but make the circles anyway to loosen out the joints. And then make the other direction circles. And slowly release your hands. Just give your shoulders a little rest. This time, bring your left elbow on top of the right elbow. Try and lock the palms of your hands. Lift your elbows up and start to push your hands away from your face, stretching the outsides of the shoulders, creating a lot of space across the upper back with this stretch. And then slowly release, relax your hands. From here, we're going to come into a seated position with our legs nice and wide apart, legs straight. Make sure you're sitting as much as possible on your sit bones, and then bring your fingertips behind you and lift up through your chest, so we're creating a long back, and activate your legs so you're pulling your toes towards your hips and you're pushing your legs into the floor. And then if it's available for you, you can bring your hands out in front of you and start to walk your fingertips forward, keeping your legs active. And you'll notice that after every couple of breaths, more space is being created for you to be able to go more forward. Don't let your legs collapse inwards. Keep them active and keep the toes pulling back towards your hips, and that will help to keep your legs stable. And you might eventually be able to come all the way onto the floor with your forehead, with your arms outstretched. Again, we're trying to lengthen as much through the back as possible, so try and keep your spine straight. No matter which part you're working at, try to maintain the length in the spine. And then let's slowly lift ourselves back up. Hold inside your knees, and then very slowly and gently cross your legs over by pulling your knees in towards each other. Then sitting with your legs crossed. Take a couple of breaths here to allow the insides of the hips that were just worked there to recover. And now we're going to take a simple twist. Bring your left hand onto your right knee, right hand behind you, and then twisting to your right. Come back to the center, change sides, right hand on your left knee, left hand behind you, twist to your left. Come back to the center. Cross your legs the other way. And bring your hands a little behind you with the fingers pointing forward, and you're going to push your chest up towards the sky, lift up your chin, arching your back. Then bring yourself back to neutral. Lie yourself down on your mat. Bring your hands underneath your buttocks with your palms down, and then stretch your legs up. So you're making a 90-degree angle, and then you can either stay here with yourself at a 90-degree angle, or you can bring your legs all the way overhead into Halasana. Get your hands onto your back as a support, and then lift your legs straight up from there into supported shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana. Here we're trying to make our body as straight and vertical as possible. Slowly allow your feet to go back over your head onto the floor into Halasana position. You can support your back still if you need to. Otherwise, interlock your fingers and bring your hands onto the floor. So this will give you some more opening across your chest and shoulders. Karnapidasana. Bend your knees either side of your ears. If you can keep your hands locked, go for it. Otherwise, what you can do is tuck your toes under with your knees either side of your ears and bring your arms around to grab the outsides of the feet, and that way you can pull yourself into a tight little ball here. And then lengthen out your legs again, release the lock of your hands back onto the mat, and then use your core muscles to slowly control your descent, trying to come down one vertebra at a time. So we're creating length through the back with each vertebra coming down, and then eventually bringing your legs down to the floor. Sit on your hands with your palms down. Point your feet away from you with your feet together. Then lift up your head and shoulders. Walk your elbows towards each other underneath your body. Arch your back as much as you can, and then bring the crown of your head onto the floor for Matsyasana, fish. Look at your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, and just see how that makes you feel here. Slowly releasing your neck. Bend up your knees, release your hands, and just hug around your knees. Pulling the legs in towards your chest, allowing the lower back to melt into the floor and release. Then lift your head up, hold outside your feet, and just look between your feet, so you're rounding your back a lot here, releasing even more into your lower back. And then release your feet, release your body back down to the floor. Bring your arms out at the sides, palms facing up like airplane wings, and then allow your knees to drop out to your right side as you look towards your left hand and exhale. Inhale back up to center, exhale, drop your knees out to your other side, look to your right hand. Inhale your knees up to center, drop them out to your right, look at your left hand. Inhale your knees back up to center, exhale them out to the left, look at your right hand. Inhale your knees up to center, exhale, drop them out to your right, look at your left hand. And then let's just take a couple of breaths here. Inhale your knees up to center, exhale them to your left, look at your right hand. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Inhale your knees back up to center. Hold underneath your knees and rock yourself backwards and forwards a couple of times, holding the backs of your knees separately, rounding your back as you're rocking, and just bring yourself up into a sitting position from one of your rocks. Sit with your legs crossed, or if it's available for you, you can sit in the lotus or the half lotus. Then bring your hands behind your back and hold your elbows and fold yourself forward. You're trying to aim your chin, or if that's not available, aim your forehead at the floor. Yoga Mudrasana. Then lift yourself back up. And we're going to change the cross of our legs. So if you're in the easy cross of the legs, just put the other one in front. If you're doing the lotus, put your other leg first. And then hold your other arm on top when you hold your elbows behind you and fold yourself forward again. It's nice to look at your third eye in this position, point between your eyebrows. Lift yourself back up. If you're in the lotus, release your legs. And then bringing yourself onto all fours, knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, toes tucked under. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, push the back of your chest up to the sky. Inhale, arching your back, lift up your head. Exhale, rounding your back, tuck your chin and push the back of your chest up to the sky. Inhale, arching your back, lift your head up. Exhale, rounding your back, tuck your chin in. Inhale, arching your back. Exhale, rounding your back. And then bring yourself back to neutral. Lie yourself down on your mat. Shavasana, the final posture. Have your feet 1.5 to 2 feet apart. Legs straight. Head in the same line as your spine. Arms about 6 inches outside of your body with the palms facing upwards. Close your eyes. Completely surrender your body to the floor. Give yourself this time to be doing absolutely nothing, just lying here in a state of total tranquility and relaxation. Start to move your toes and your fingers. Allow your head to roll to one side and then the other. Bring your arms overhead and stretch through your body, pointing away through your toes, pushing away through your heels a couple of times. And then bend up your knees, roll to your right side using your right arm as a pillow. Keep your eyes closed, feel the relaxation of your lower back in this position. Feel the comfort of this position. And then very slowly just push yourself up. Come into a seated position with your hands together at the center of your chest. Your back straight, your body relaxed. Now open your eyes, bow forward, namaste.